Hi everyone and welcome back. It is time for a colouring video, I think. It's Sunday afternoon, there's not a lot going on. My cats are just stirring because they think it's time to be fed, when in fact it is not time to be fed. So they're probably going to bother me. They've been asleep all day, pretty much. I'd like to have been asleep all day. Anyway, I'm here because I've been sent a colouring book. And I was asked if I would like to do a review of this, and I would. So this is the Ultimate Mandala Coloring Book by Savvy Stationery, and this is £7.49 from Amazon. It is an 8.5 by 8.5 colouring book. I prefer my colouring books for mandalas to be squared because it just feels like you're wasting less paper, and it's got quite a matte cover. So the thing that is most interesting about this colouring book is it is split into difficulty levels. So there are 3 levels throughout this one. It is printed on one side with a nice little starburst design on the other side, and they progress in difficulty throughout the book. So the easy ones are going to be perfect for markers. They all seem to have quite a thick outline, which is brilliant because I'm not very good with the markers yet, and I'm looking forward to trying one of these. So I do like the designs. They are nice and crisp. The printing, I've had a look, it is very sharp and the lines are very bold and consistent. So that is going to be fun to practice the markers on. And then we have intermediate, and they do get more complex. Printing is still nice and sharp, but the lines aren't as bold throughout. There's some variation, some perhaps not a strict mandala, but that's still going to be fun to cover. In fact, some of these intermediate ones, I feel like I could still use my Sharpies, not one like this. I would use my pencils or even fine liners for this one, but some of the intermediate ones are really good for pencils. And I really like the idea of the progression through the books. Like this one, I could still use my markers on and get a little bit more practice of doing finer areas. And then there are a few like this in the book which I don't feel like I would personally colour because they just don't work for me. They're still quite nice designs, but if I'm going to be going over the edge, I like a border just so that there's a place to stop. But that's just personal preference. Although some of these are really quite intricate. There are some very nice designs in here. Some quite unusual ones. Like this is really fine line. Perhaps this is a more advanced one. But the designs are fun and I'm looking forward to getting in. I've no idea how quite I would colour that one. That might be interesting to go lighter in one shade and just get darker as you get into the centre. That'd be quite fun. And then perhaps there's space to go around with a fine liner. So there's definitely possibilities. Oh, I do like that design. That's a good one for fine liners. So the intermediate section is definitely bigger than the easy section. And then we get into advanced, which I feel like are definitely for the fine liners. The areas are quite tight. Now I like this, even though it doesn't have the box. It feels like a solid design. It's definitely going to be a fine liner one though, and that's quite nice. That's all leaves and flowers. I've got a lot of greens in my new sets, and again this is split like the other one. This is not my sort of personal taste in mandalas because I don't like how the layout is on that one. This I love. This one I love. And again, even though it's not bordered, it is a solid piece and would be quite nice to colour. So there are some really lovely designs. This one I had a flip through earlier and had a look at this. I'm not quite sure how to approach this one if I'm honest. But this one again, this one I really like. And even on the advanced section, the same as the intermediate and easy, The printing is really crisp, even when the lines get thin. The printing is really, really clear. There's no pixelation. I really like this one. This is what I want if you're doing a square with a nice border on it. Oh, I like that one. This is definitely a fine liner one. I would say the advanced section is definitely one for fine liners. And in fact, some of the areas do get really quite small. Again, we've got a more floral inspired one. So there's a range of themes through this one. I've got a butterfly. So it's never going to be one thing to colour all the way through, because this is quite a long book if you start at the beginning and go through to the end. Oh, that one would be definitely fun to play with different shades in. So at the end of this one, there is a preview of some of her other colouring books. Okay, so we've moved away from the floral completely here, and we've got a more geometric one. So this is a really fun book with lots of different themes and different styles of mandalas, and I really like the differing difficulty. It gives you a chance to play with different media in the same book. Some of the sections on this advanced section are very, very small, so even my fine liners are going to be interesting. So then we have 10 pages from the animal mandala section. So that book, it's also available on Amazon. I don't know how much that one is, so I might give these a go because these look fun. And honestly, I haven't done any animals. I just tend to stick to the same books. Quite like that one. That's fun. So that might be fun to do with different things. So you could do pencil and then move into alcohol marker to finish off the cat. So the printing has cut off slightly on this one. That's the only one that I've seen is sort of misaligned. And I love the fish. Definitely love the fish. So there's a good taste of all the other designs, and then we've just got a couple of blank sheets. So this is a really interesting colouring book, and to finish off my review, I'm going to colour in one from each section. So I'm going to do an easy one with my alcohol markers, my Sharpies to give it a go. I'm going to do one from the intermediate section with pencils, and then I'm going to do one from the more advanced section with my fine liners, and I will come back and let you know what the actual book is like to colour, because doing a flip through is one thing, but you want to know if it's fun to colour as well and how the paper is. So I will see you, it'll be later for me, but it will be 2 minutes, or not even 2 minutes. I'll see you soon. Hi, it's now some time later. I don't know how much later, a week, maybe 10 days. I'm not sure. I thought I would come back and finish this because I've been doing some colouring in it, and I would like to get this review finished. So I have finished 2 of the sections that I was going to do, not the full section, but a design in the section. And I'm currently working on the 3rd one, and I'll explain why I haven't got that one finished yet. So out of the beginner section, I have done this one with Sharpies, and this was lovely to do. It's come out so well. I love the finish of it. I love the colour combination. I'm still getting to grips with the alcohol markers, so I'm really pleased that this has come out so well. And the thick lines really do help, because I'm still getting used to how the markers soak into the page compared to water-based fine liners. So that was one of the easy ones. There's several others that I can do with markers, with Sharpies or with other brands. Then I did an intermediate with my Faber-Castell Black Edition, and then I noticed with this Faber-Castell pencils that this paper is very, very smooth compared to other Amazon colouring books that I have. But it went on lovely. I used one of those colour palette pickers for inspiration, because I tend to have problems when it's with colouring pencils, I have problems picking a colour theme. I just tend to keep adding pencils, and I just don't stop. I just keep adding and adding. So that's what I ended up with from the colour palette picker. And I chose the Faber-Castell because there's only 36 in that set, so it's really easy to pick the colours you want. So, and then out of the advanced colouring, I'm using my Staedtler fine liners. And this is where it's not going quite so well. Once again, I've chosen a colour palette from a colour palette picker, and I like the combination. However, this paper is really, really absorbent, like very absorbent. And I'm getting a lot of bleeding with the fine liners, and I don't tend to get that with Amazon colouring books. So what I think is the paper is very smooth but absorbent, so when it's coming to the water-based media, which is these, it's absorbing a lot more of it as you colour than I'm used to, so it's just going a little bit more slowly. The finish is fine. I just wanted to get this video wrapped up. I'm going to be finishing this whole mandala, and I will be posting all of these to my Instagram account I have now for colouring. We're being joined by a cat. Spencer, I am recording a video. Do you have to right now? And the answer is yes. Yes, she does. So I've really enjoyed colouring from this book, and I'm going to finish this. I've still got my pens out to work on it, and that's it really. It's been fun. I enjoy the aspects of having the 3 different difficulty levels. I think it adds a lot of interest to the book. In a very, very saturated market, this makes this one stand out, and I'm definitely going to be using this for more alcohol markers because this was so much fun to do. So that is this book, and once again thank you to Savvy Stationery for sending this my way.